Peace, everyone. I hope you are very well, wherever you may be. Today I am back with another video, and we are getting right into the manuscript of Peaks and Valleys, a traveler's guide. And this is a recent book I published, and I'm excited to share it with everybody. This has to do with mind, body, and spirit, general health and wellness, and I'm presenting this material along with some more material that will be released in the future. If you have visited this channel, you would have seen a Quitting Cigarettes mini-series, which if anybody's trying to quit smoking, vapes, or e-cigs, cigarettes, definitely watch that mini-series. It will encourage you and give you free game on quitting that habit and in a healthy way, and transferring that energy into a healthy mode of production. And that's all free. And this is not what's in the book. This has nothing to do with the book. The book is different. I mean, it's not. It's relative, but it's not about quitting cigarettes. So, addressed in that mini-series is the 4-3-2-1 method. And I have, over a dozen videos pertaining to different ways and methods of application to wind down and follow the 4-3-2-1 code, which this is something that I developed after the fact of quitting, so I could make it digestible for people who are also interested without having to spend any money. Just check the videos out. They will help you, and let me know if you need any help from me. So let's get right into today. The intro. Here's the intro. Presenting to the student of life university tremendous opportunities to gain insight and wisdom is not a light or easy task. Myself, a student, I remember I am here as a messenger or transmuter of energies, vibrations, and frequencies emanating from source. The infinite potential that surges within is the same infinite potential without. That is to reference the popularized phrase as above, so below, or as within, so without, in its demonstrations of power. And I'll pause. I don't know how popular it is in everybody's, vocabulary, but it's more than just a phrase, and it's a metaphysical application that you can use it as a visualization technique in the mind, but also to study the power of that phrase. It is a boundless development of perception. All right, let's continue. From the symbolical references subliminally embedded into the mainstream media, note Greek goddess Medea, meaning planner, schemer of entertainment, to the celestial luminaries harnessing cymatic fields or vibrational phenomena affecting both Mother Earth and the internal biological systems of all living organisms and the electromagnetic biofields within. This collection of notes is intended to integrate a deeper inner awareness of the creative universe within oneself, irrespective of the common driving narratives that have been interwoven into the matrix and collective mind of humans as powerful, controlling, and manipulative current-day belief systems. All right, these are big sentences. I know, I wrote long sentences. Celestial luminaries, we're talking about what we call stars or what we call planets, okay? There's a lot more going on than just this, than that. So study these things from a vibrational perspective. That's what cymatic fields are, Kirlian photography, and the notes about Medea being, the Greek goddess of the planner, of the schemer. A lot of these words, when you start to look at words and study etymological roots, obviously things can be taken out of context depending on the individual and how they associate words together. But if you try and keep it as, say, honorable as possible, and not get too exaggerated in your ego trying to decode everything, it'll provide a lot of value. You just have to stay neutral and not get all caught up trying to solve the world's problems. Let's keep going. Oh, so yes, the celestial luminary. This is all the collection of notes intended to integrate a deeper inner awareness. So this is all just inner awareness, amplification, and being self-observant, self-aware, listening to the spirit, how to do that. So let's keep going. Peaks and Valleys is designed, let me pull this up for you, designed to honorably convey to the reader an understanding of prana, or life force energy, how it can be manipulated, how to protect life force, power of mind, and effective transmutation of emotion, energy, and motion, the dualistic and non-dualist remedies of the inner eye intuition, polarization of thought in the lower planes and its relations with electricity and magnetism in the universe. Furthermore, discovering the layers of oneself and how to balance powerful inner energy fields, well known as chakras, light and darkness, the internal blueprint of imagination, the spirit and its perpetual self-contemplation with its relations to the creative process, subconscious and consciousness awareness, development of universal synchronicities, and more. Okay, yes, this is, I do, this, not every single sentence is that long. This is just a extended intro to give you an in-depth as possible ideal of what is going to be presented. This, the reason I started to break it down in the introduction is because there are certain terms that associate with each other that are really going to help build the faculties of the mind in the visualization and creative process. And electricity and magnetism is the positive and negative, the masculine and feminine, the sun and the moon, which makes up the waveforms, the sine wave, the sinusoidal waveform, which is what is our every electromagnetic biofield that all exists in all organisms is comprised of. That's the energy layer, behind in our powering our subtle bodies. These electromagnetic fields are what's the word? Collected, or let's say housed in power centers that are called the chakras. And there's many different books and information, I'm sure way more advanced in specific to chakras than this reading, but for these notes, it's designed to give you the basics, because you don't have to be a master at that specific, it's mastering techniques in the creative process that will unravel the understanding of your own chakra centers and how to balance those and amplify your own energy fields through your heart. Let's keep going. Universal synchronicities. Yes, subconscious and consciousness awareness, development of universal synchronicities. Yes, these are, some of it sounds like a mouthful, and arguably could be. I would power through this material, and I'm reading it to you and breaking it down as well. I'm not going to make this entire video, I'm not going to go through the entire book at one time, but I will continue to unravel pieces of the book. If you happen to come across this page, if you happen to be interested in mind, body, and spirit information, please reach out to me. I have some physical copies of the book. I have the manuscript here, obviously. So if you don't want to purchase it on Amazon, or you just don't want to, it's okay. Just reach out to me and I'll see what I can do to work things out to share this information, because I really want it to, I want to share it with people. It's not about I have to pay my bills, but you get the point. Let's continue. Please enjoy this collection of notes, as it is designed to assist in your journey as much as you would like to reference it. You are responsible for the perception of your experience. We are here to remind each other of the divine powers within us all. That was just a short, it was a reminder as we continue. This isn't to be self-absorbed or think of I'm going to power no. We're living in a collective consciousness. We have some level of servitude, which is what brings power, actually. It's not being self-absorbed and distracted in our lives. All right, let's continue. There's importance in solitude. Don't take that to the other side of the field. All right. Part 1. Prior to the first breath of a human, the fetus does not need oxygen from inflating lungs due to the placenta providing oxygenated blood through the umbilical cord. Communications exist between the biological systems present and are functioning long before conception commences, and a God intelligence force exists omnipotently in the all, the original womb, Mother Gaia, matrix. As this omnipresent life force exists in the matrix, we acknowledge its divine essence and intelligence capacities in the womb of the childbearing woman, and in the breath of all life of all organisms on earth. Mother herself is breathing. Mother Earth herself is breathing, as she has been for much longer than I or anybody reading this book. An electromagnetic field active and busy relaying frequencies to other celestial bodies, seemingly in communication with one another through mediums of cymatic and photonic transmittance and correspondence back to Earth, and every receiver attuned to these powerful energy bodies near unfathomable lengths from one another. Okay, why am I bringing up celestial luminaries? Why am I bringing up? Okay, these are ancient levels of consciousness of the human soul was derived from nature's patterns as they carefully observed, mapped, and studied not just what happened here, but also astrologically in the heavens above, the waters above. Okay, and they mapped this, became part of human consciousness, integrated, interwoven, and embedded into their day-to-day life and in their soul. It's part of their soul. So this is why I'm talking about this. There are people, again, who are far more advanced explaining this stuff. I'm breaking this to the reader to gather notes when they have interest in expanding in any of these studies, of these fields of study. One will do so. I'm not advanced in any particular, but I'm looking at things from a holistic perspective and analyzing from a zoomed out perspective, and then sharing that with you as I'm putting links together. And I will note too in the book that I'm not telling you what's right or wrong. It's actually, the point of it is to direct the intention internally so that you can listen to truth that's unraveling inside of your spirit. It's a constant expansion. That's what they say, consciousness, expanding your conscious, or whatever, the phrase might be. But yes, this is all the perpetual process done within, and that is the life spirit contemplating which is the creative process. Okay, so we'll continue. I do break this down in the book more, so I'll continue. Also, I am speeding up a little bit in these videos because otherwise they'll get extremely lengthy. So I guess slow it down if it's too fast. I don't know. I've never actually done that personally, but I know people do. Or just reach out to me if you have specific questions. So, as these celestial luminaries and fields are moving, it's just to note that our consciousness and soul is part of this whole experience. Okay, so it's intrinsically interwoven into our DNA, our code. All right, let's continue. The consciousness field of the human is operating in the electromagnetic spectrum also, as we exist within the universal constructs of the matrix, I noted earlier. Let me pull this back up. The human consciousness, being a participant and recipient to these electromagnetic waveforms, has the ability to transcend what our common five sensory receptor stimulus signals to the brain and central nervous system in the lower sensuous realms. We have been intricately interwoven with existence to be one with the all, carefully designed with the infinite potential of the imagination and unique creative faculties, giving us a responsibility to infinitely expand consciousness as we traverse reality inside this physical vessel or avatar with the multidimensional experience. Okay, I'm just sharing different names for the same thing. You'll see that across this book. That's because a lot of people refer to the same thing in different ways. So I want to also acknowledge and present different ways that the same thing can be presented. It's like typing a word in on Google and finding 50 synonyms for it. Okay. The physical vessel, right? This is where the responsibility, I think, is what I know is important throughout this work, and the responsibility meaning our ability to respond. That's how I look at it. The same way that someone has said, multiple people have said, instead of thinking like you have to do things, you change your mind to I get to. Well, it's sort of along these lines here. It's a state of gratitude, but a state of gratitude is frequency of thought. And that frequency of thought, if you look at, actually, one second, I'll show you this real fast. The frequency of thought of lust and these lower waves forms literally bring you down. It brings your entire electromagnetic field to a lower vibratory state. And that's what, like, the parasitic and predatory poor relationships get developed, okay? And these are perfect visuals to represent what I'm saying. I'm a visual learner, but visualization, as I'm noting in this material, is much more powerful internally. Anyways, we can learn from processing as well, from our external field of vision to it. Utilize it, right? But don't let it distract you. And at the top, you see here, wholeness, bliss, freedom, love, joy, appreciation, and gratitude. And gratitude is above speed of light. It's moving your thought frequency faster than the speed of light, is what that's saying, that it is moving at a very fast pace and very powerful energy, versus lust, victimization, and pain being at the bottom, which is far, far below the speed of light, slowing your body and your mind down to a sluggish frequency, a sluggish state. Now, I'm also going to note here, that doesn't mean that oratory means you have to speak 150 miles per hour. Okay, because communication is not about talking fast all the time. There's a specific reason I'm doing it now. All right. The consciousness field of, okay, yes, I read this part, sorry. Let's move down. Yes. We have been intricately interwoven with existence to be one with the all, carefully designed with infinite potential of the imagination and unique creative faculties, giving us responsibility. Okay. That's our ability to respond. It's built into our code. And we have to stop being distracted. However, communing with the heavenly aspects of our being and our nature doesn't mean to get lost in it or dematerialized, because we're part of matter as well, and we have purpose to serve here, which is life. And I'll note that it's not that you have to find purpose. The purpose is to live your life. It's living. Be here and be present now. As aforementioned, we are traversing through waveforms across a vast electromagnetic spectrum, of which our physical bodies are capable of rendering an extremely limited percentage, the sensory capacity being limited to experiencing what studies show to be less than 1% of universal waveforms interweaving inside the firmament. Talking about the electromagnetic spectrum, you can pull up a picture of this. I don't mind doing this because since I'm speaking faster, I'll pull up a couple of pictures. In the meantime, wait, did I do that correctly? Okay, just making sure that the other screen is off for a second. And I need to pull this up. The ability to respond, and this is what I note here. Excuse me. As responsibility, we're just reading it from a different perspective. Respond to what? God, intuition, emotions, gut, instinct, spirit, prana, potential, mind, feelings, heart. These frequencies are all part of the same divine machinations. Again, we're developing a holistic perception. We're zooming out so we can analyze these things and how the faculties of these machinations work together, and how we are responsible for all the gears. Was it the gears in the cog, or cogs in the... You get what I mean. All right, 1 second. Let me pull up this real fast. Meaning, we aren't God. We're not, you aren't controlling the spirit intelligence that's beating your heart and pumping your blood, nor were you when you were being developed inside of the womb of your mother. You were not doing that, okay? So you're not God, but the same way that you're responsible for your thoughts and actions is the same commune and convening and development of a healthy relationship, so we can gain understanding or gratitude, is how it's the higher frequencies it seems to be, and we can study these as we will continue to in different ways. Again, I like to use different words people have used across time and space. So we can associate commonalities underlying in truth that people are spreading over however, thousands of years. Because there's a lot of external distraction. A lot. So, it goes on to say, yes, we have the divine potential to respond to this omnipresent life force intelligence, and we have the inner awareness to bring forth light to the darkest corners of our internal being, unraveling the spirit as it transcends to its sole purpose here in its period of self-contemplation, life experience, and beyond in its period of transcendence. Okay, I'm noting here, this is the life experience. The spirit in a perpetual state of self-contemplation is the creative potential. It's the creative process, and there's boundless potential in the life experience. It is the life experience. When we go within and we unravel, there is a note here. There's a continuous expansion. It's perpetual. Okay. I don't want to go too much further into the book. This is plenty to cover for now. It's plenty to go back and reference and read. You can freeze or pause this video and pull these pages up as well. I'll have, if you would like to support or just have the material at home for yourself as in a physical copy, I'll have the links in the description below. And please, again, if you have any questions or concerns about anything, reach out to me. I don't want to keep these videos going too long, but I did want to pull up a quick picture of the electromagnetic spectrum just to give visual reference while I make these videos. I actually think I have it in my photos. I don't have to look this up. So yes, hopefully there's an idea of, at least an intro idea. The book is really packed. It's not a long book, but it is packed. And I did that for a reason. I wanted to be sure it was still digestible, but packed with information that you can carry essentially as long as you need to reference it, as long as you need until until you've internalized what you need in the spirit, and you amplify the spirit with the power of the word, the mind, in connection with the omnipresence. So, electromagnetic spectrum, real fast. And then, it's just to note that, visually, we really aren't seeing much. And honestly, all the processing of these frequencies that are outside of us, it's happening in here, like actually in the brain, right? There's a cross behind our eyes where the nerves connect to the brain, and processing, if you will, is done for abbreviated explanation. It's done inside the mind. It's not nothing. This is optics, okay? Don't be distracted by all the scripted stuff. I'm being generous here. Let me pull up the electromagnetic spectrum. And the reason it's not to tell you what to do, it's your power is being unlocked internally. All of it is coming from within. You already have, it's in a constant state of expansion. If we're listening to it, we can convene with it and match the frequencies of the universe to amplify it. And that's being one with all. That is to be one with all that is. Electromagnetic field. We'll study waveforms and some other physics concepts and principles later. I don't want to get too into detail with that. One, because I'm not a physicist, but it ties right in. It is what we are in a fascinating way. So, pull this up. Here we go. I'll save that for future videos for sure. And if you're interested in learning more about these things, again, I'm going to go into the book further, but we can talk about anything, so let me know. I also thought about moving over to Rumble eventually if things get more off topic, or let's just say not YouTube friendly. All right, here's your visible electromagnetic spectrum. It's just to note here's our visible part right in there. Very, very small visible light spectrum. Okay, the rest of this whole chart here, this whole bar, it's invisible. Okay, it's just a reminder. This isn't like mystical stuff. This is very applicable and reasonable, especially avid visual learning. So tune into you, spend some time away from distractions. I'm not saying like you have to live under a rock, okay? But definitely give yourself some time to listen to the Spirit and convene with the Spirit, and it will have a constant contemplation for you to endeavor. So don't be scared of the, like I mentioned in the reading, the darkness is your subconscious, the 90% storehouse where, yeah, there's going to be some cobwebs in the corners, and we're responsible for going in and cleaning them out. Whatever analogy you'd like to use, or just shining some light there, clean it out and light it up, illumine these areas. We have that spark of divine essence to keep that light in the darkness, and it will be noted in the material. That is your creative process. You can call it whatever you want to call it. It's like arguing over what the earth is flat or if the earth is globe. It's both. Why would it? What do you mean? What's the point of polarizing your ideal to one side or the other when you can develop holistic mindset to neutralize and balance your energy and amplify your energy from balance? Otherwise, you're getting pulled in one direction, and a lot of times our energies get repressed. Anyways, I won't drag this video out. So if you did get anything out of the video, awesome. I'm thankful for that. And if you're, this is holiday season, so please enjoy the holidays with your family and, enjoy the time. As we approach a new Gregorian year and slowly moving in, well, I guess rather quickly moving into the Chinese New Year of the Snake. So keep that in mind as tensions arise. At least global conflicts seem to be arising, and note that there is a lot more to media. As noted, the Greek goddess there's a specific plan and a scheme that's being scripted, and then there's the universe, and that universe is inside of you. So continue to unravel it. Don't get too caught up in scripts. I'm not saying don't ever acknowledge them, or like I said, you don't have to live under a rock, but it's a balance, right? So with that being said, I won't drag this out much more. You guys have some notes here to start this book without having to pay anything, and I hope that it serves somebody, at least one person, well. No part of the book can be, produced, transmitted, utilized, electronic or mechanical, photocopying, recording, without written permission from the author, from me, or from me, the author or the publisher, except for brief quotations articles. So you guys are welcome to, again, reach out, comment, share this. I would really appreciate it. And if you have any questions, just let me know through here, or I do have a Patreon you can reach out to, but I'm building these pages. I'm more focused on getting information out. You can see I'm more about content, the quality of content, as far as the material being helpful and important. And, I'll get to the entertaining part. I have to work on some of that stuff too. But I really wanted to spread some of this in hopes to help anybody out there. I'll be making more of the other mini-series videos as well. I have some cool ideas. So from that, everybody have a wonderful weekend going into Saturday, and move with intention and love. And I will see you in another video Until then, much love. Please take care. Peace.